Hey yo, what's up, guys, and welcome to today's vlog. This is episode number 4, and today, man, I'm going to be talking about depression and the mental health stigma that plagues Black communities. Um, I feel like I'm a good person who could speak on this issue, or well, not issue, but on this disorder because I am a Black man who suffers from depression himself, and I have suffered from depression for quite a long time, and nobody would have known it, especially anybody who knows the very vague definition of depression. And that definition goes like this: depression is a mental health disorder that is characterized by mood changes and a loss of interest in doing things. Now, anybody who knows me, who really knows me, even if you look at what I've been doing lately, you would know that I'm not lost my interest in doing anything. I'm always doing something, and I really don't fit the other, what I'm saying, topic as well because I mean, um, y'all see me. I don't my mood doesn't really change too much. I mean, I'm me. That's who I am. You wouldn't know if I was sad or not. You wouldn't know if I was happy or not. You just gonna know I'm me because I'm gonna be going on 10 when I'm really I'm at 1. That's me. So that was the description of depression. So I'm going to give you the description from a person who actually experiences depression. So this is what depression feels like. Depression feels like always being alone, no matter what's going on. It feels like you're always alone, even when you're in a crowd of people. That's how it feels. Depression looks like me. It looks like a person who's goal oriented, who's motivated, who's just pushing through. Like you see this person going through life and they're doing good. And you think everything is good. But to that person who's experiencing depression, they don't think they're achieving at all. And they think that they're constantly failing because they're not living up to their expectations. And also expectations that have been put on them. So I'm going to go, because I said in my last promo that I was going to talk about what happened to me, like where did I go? So in 2014, I decided that I wanted to go into the military, and I wasn't just going to go into the regular military. I was going to go be a ranger. So I signed up, and I made it. I was in a ranger regiment by the middle of 2015. I was in the ranger regiment after going and doing all the training and everything. Man, I made it. I succeeded. And while there, I was still top shit, gung ho at that motherfucker. Watch the words. I was gung ho there, man, and I hit the ground running. Top speed. Like as soon as I finished basic, I boom straight to, airborne. So I finished airborne, boom, I straight to RAS. I was fast tracking, but when I got to my battalion, um, my my platoon sergeant had other plans for me because I wanted to go straight into um, the ranger school process, get my tab, and then hey man, just start moving up in the ranks. But he didn't see it that way. He wanted me to learn my job, and in doing so, it screwed with my conditioning. So during a PT test for ranger school, I was crushing it, man. I went out there and I did 86 push-ups. I did 100 sit-ups, and I was my run. I was coming in on time, but all of a sudden, as I was on the backstretch coming back in, I started to feel like my chest tighten, and I couldn't breathe. Like I legit could not breathe, and I was like, "What the hell's going on with me? I can't breathe. What's happening?" But I had to soldier up because I was almost done. I was like, "I'm not gonna not finish." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna push through. So I pushed through, the Ranger way, and I crossed the tape, and I immediately hit the ground. Boom. And my sergeant's looking down at me like, "You all right, Reese?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not all right. I'm on the ground. How the fuck am I all right?" You know what I'm saying? So they picked me up, bro, and I started walking it off, and I'm good. And we got to do our pull-up session. So I'm doing pull-ups. I do 14 pull-ups, right? And then I just drop. And when I tell you, uh, everything was cloudy. Everything was like my vision was blurry and cloudy. Like what the hell is going on, man? Like by the time I know it, everybody's gone inside to warm down and stretch, and I'm outside leaning on a gate, like what's wrong with me? So the big dude, man, his name was McDonald, man. He came out there, he picked me up and carried me like a damn baby. You know what I'm saying? He carried me to the Ranger clinic, and while I was in there, they checked my temperature, and I was running 104. Yeah, my temp was 104, man. So I was cooking. And they doused me all with ice, you know what I'm saying? They violated my butt, you know what I'm saying? To check the temperature and shit. Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm transparent. I'm transparent as they get. So, yeah, man, I was violated. And they cooled my body temp down. I was good to go, I ran by the clinic, the Big Army clinic, to check in with them. And they were like, yeah, man, you need to go ahead and go home, rest for a couple of days, and then come back. That's the first time this happened to me. The second time this happened to me, because I got back into tip-top shape, everything was good. And I'm outside with a bunch of the other Rangers, and we're doing this fitness program. And man, we're already carrying 45 pounds in our rucksacks. And we also having to carry 45-pound plates, so we just out there doing just an unspecified mileage, just going. And I started to taper off. I was like, yo, what the hell's wrong with me? Because I'm good at rucking. I was good at all that stuff. And I'm starting to fall off. And one of the guys go, hey, Sergeant, hey, Reese look like he's struggling. So Sergeant come back there like, Reese, what's up with you, baby? I was like, hey, I can't breathe. So all right, come to the front of the formation. So I'm in the front of the formation, I'm leading everything. Everything feels like it's getting better. But as we turn around and we're coming back, I had that feeling again where I couldn't breathe. So, they threw me in the van, took off all my gear and stuff, and they checked my temperature. Once again, I'm violated again, and I'm 105 this time. I'm cooking, my insides is cooking. So it's like, oh no, we gotta get this guy back. So they get me back, right? Let me tell you how stupid this was. They get me back, and when they do get me back, I get out the van and they go, hey, Reese, are you good to go? And I told them fools yes, because I knew that was the Ranger way. And you couldn't be no punk, right? That's the dumbest shit I had ever done, because that's not me. I don't fold like that. So I continue. And after we finished the ruck, we had to do pull-ups. Some deja vu, right? So I'm getting ready to go over there and do the pull-ups. And as I get on the bar, same shit happened again. It gets blurry. So I dropped down and said, yo, Sergeant, I can't do this shit, man. I think I need to go. So Sergeant was like, all right, man, just go get ready, and we'll see y'all back later. I'm like, all right, cool. This man thought I was finna stay with them. I went to the clinic, and I went and got checked out at the clinic, and they sent me home. Man, the next day, I had the worst diarrhea. You know what I'm saying? I had the worst diarrhea to where it was coming out like you couldn't control it. I'm sitting down on the ground, like it's starting to come. I'm running down, holding my butt. You know what I'm saying? Trying to run to the bathroom. I just had diarrhea like that for 2 weeks straight, right? And I told people, I was like, yo, I got diarrhea. What's going on with me? And they were like, oh, you're fine. Here, just take these cramping medication. So I'm taking cramping medication. But they also did my labs that day. And they got my labs back, and they called me like, Reese, you come up here quickly, ASAP. I'm like, all right, yeah. So I come up there, and they're like, yo, your kidneys are failing. Yeah, my kidneys are failing. Like everything inside of me was cooking, man, from when I went down, and they didn't take care of me properly. So that screwed me up bad to the point to where nothing was working like it used to, as far as me getting back into shape and just being that dude. I was that guy, and I wasn't that guy no more after this second time. I did not recover. Every day felt like shit. Every day. I would get out of bed with a bad headache every single morning. I go to the clinic every single day. They check in my blood like once every other week. I swear they stuck me so many damn times. I don't even feel that stuff anymore. I just sit there. I'm like, all right, y'all good? All right, I'm out. So that's what they end up doing to me for quite a long time. And I'm sitting there figuring out what they're going to do with me, man, because I got the option of getting out the military or staying in, because I want to finish this thing. But if y'all are breaking me, I need to get my ass up out of here. But y'all going to get me out of here with compensation. So I'm pushing. Y'all need to med board me, man. Y'all need to med board me. But I had this major, I'm not gonna say no names. I had this major who saw otherwise, because that wasn't the Ranger way. And this man tried to convince me to just leave. He'll give me a permanent profile where I don't do no activities, but after that's all said and done, I just leave the military. I wasn't gonna have anything. Hell no. That's not me. So I fought their ass. And I got med boarded. So that was the good thing, but here's the bad thing. I was supposed to be getting out of the military, man, in 2017, like the ending of 2017, like December. Because I remember I sent my wife home. I sent my wife and my son home in October. And I stayed because I had to finish the med board. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna be at this mug. That's what I thought. I thought I was gonna be going home. Like, I didn't do the med board before we had the plans of sending them home. So when the med board talk came, I was like, oh, yo, what's going on now? I gotta be here for like how long? They was like, yeah, it could take 9 months to a year. I was like, 9 months to a year. So long story short, I sent my family home. I don't really know nobody in Savannah, right? And it's just me there. It's just me. Know nothing, you know what I'm saying? And for them to tell me that I can't be the same person again, because I had a doctor tell me that I would never ever be the same again as far as like my physical capabilities. And to actually see that start to happen to me, that I couldn't do it, and that my family was gone, I didn't have no support, I started to crack. Me, you know what I'm saying? I started to crack. And I was like, yo, what is going on with me? What's really happening? Because since I couldn't do anything anymore, I didn't have to attend anything anymore. So instead of getting up in the morning and have to go around to formation, I would get up in the morning, just go in the kitchen and get some damn cereal and go right back to bed. I didn't even have to really go nowhere. And when I would go to the gym and try to do things, it hurt. It hurt every day. And I didn't realize what was happening to me, but I started from getting up and going to the kitchen to get cereal to getting food that I could keep on the side of my bed so I wouldn't have to move at all. I would just get up and just go to the bathroom. That was the only reason why I was getting up. I didn't realize what was happening to me. And I didn't start really getting a good grasp on it until I started having issues with my sleep. My sleep was terrible. I would have to get up in the morning. Like, I was getting up in the morning because eventually I had to start going to formation. So I had to get up in the morning and be in formation by 6 o'clock. So I'm waking up way before 6 so I can get dressed and stuff. I wasn't falling asleep until like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting there rocking back and forth, man. They gave me melatonin. They gave me trazodone. They was giving me everything. Antidepressants, all this shit. And none of it was working. I was not falling asleep. So I'm studying this and I'm starting to figure out like something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got to be more to me why I'm not getting no sleep right now. Because I was also working on finishing my master's, man. I had finished my last course in there, the capstone. And, I just thought it was that. I thought I was just, I was so wired up because I was going to finish and that this is my push, but that's not what it was. Man, I was lonely to have nobody, understand what I'm telling you, to have nobody but just have phone calls with people. And it didn't really last that long because I was a person that people seen as just this strong, just the rock. We don't need to check on him. He's good. We know he's good because if he wasn't good, he would call us. But sometimes you don't feel like that. You don't feel like that. And I started to know what it was. I did. I started to know what it was. But I wasn't ready to admit that I had it. I just like, that's some shit that, I've heard of before. But it ain't me. Because it couldn't be me. How could it be me? You know what I'm saying? I'm Superman. I started seeing a therapist. You know what I'm saying? I started seeing a therapist. And this guy is telling me everything that's not wrong with me. He's like, well, maybe you're not sleeping because, you're not trying to sleep early enough. Maybe it's your sleep hygiene, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, bro, I know what this is. It ain't nothing about none of that. But every time he kept telling me, I would go try that because I thought, because I didn't want to admit that, I have a problem. So I was like, yo, I'm just gonna go ahead and listen to this dude because maybe it is. Maybe I'm not getting better good sleep hygiene. I tried everything. He wanted me to read a book to wind down and not use electrons, yada yada yada. I did it. That shit didn't work. Nothing would work until I kept telling him, I was like, man, this is bigger than what you think it is. He still didn't believe me because it's that range away. Y'all can't be broken, right? We can't be broken. And when you think about it, that range away is that same mentality that black people cannot be broken. When in fact, we've been getting broke for over the last 400 years. You just don't bounce back from that. Trickle down effect. It's the reason why we have all these underlying issues that we do. And when it comes to our mental stability, people don't look at us as if we are having a nervous breakdown. They look at us as angry people. You look at the others as, oh no, this kid is not bad. This is a one-time offense. They promise to never do it again. They don't even have a record. But for this guy over here, oh, they're just savages. Look how they dress. Look how they walk. Look how they talk. Look how they act. We were just trying to survive by any means necessary. And we got caught in the crossfire. So when it comes to our people and having a problem, we ain't gonna say shit about that, because to diagnose somebody with a disability, a black person, because think about it, that's my third strike. I'm black. I'm a black man, and I have a mental disorder. Oh, you struck out, buddy. You out of there. You out of there. And then for this man to tell me that I didn't have this when I was kind of feeling like that's what it was a slap in the face. So this is how it started to look afterwards, before I admitted I had a problem. It started to get really dark. It started to get really dark when it was light outside. It started to get even more lonely when I was in clubs. It just didn't seem like it was working no more. And I was getting to the point to where I felt like it was better off without me being here. Because I was like, what do I have to offer? And I felt like nothing, because nothing was working. You feel me? And nobody was there for me. That is very hard to deal with, especially for a person who has been able to do everything in their entire life. For them to just be stopped. And I had a plan, because it's like, man, we had this big insurance policy on us as soldiers. It's like, man, what if I, fell off of this, while we was out doing some type of training montage? Just, something. What if I snuck around, from the shooting range? Because we shot like crazy out there. I'm telling you, these thoughts had went through my mind, because I felt like it would have been better off if I'm not here, because I wasn't with my family. So how can I support them from afar? If I was gone, we would have the money to be set for life. And so I started to think that my life was worth more not being here and being gone. And you got to think about something. When it comes to our people, a lot of them feel that way. Like it's not worth for them to be here anymore. That's why we got to be kind to each other. When you see that person who's walking along with their head down, looking at the ground, It's okay for you to say, hey, excuse me, how you doing? Because they look up eventually because they know they're going to run into somebody. When you make eye contact with somebody, you say something to somebody. You see that person sitting alone on a park bench, you wave at them. Trust me, you just made their day. Because a person like me who was going through that, I feel like I'm non-existent. Before I continue, y'all gotta know, I'm an emotional person. Anybody who knows me, I'm telling you, who knows me, know I'm an emotional person. So for me to be fighting through this and holding back that much to keep this going is a triumph, for real. Because I would have broke down a long time ago. I would have stopped this thing, but I'm pushing through it, and I'm pushing through for y'all. Because I know there's somebody out there that's gonna hear this, who needs to hear this, to know that it's going to be okay. All right. It's first of all, it's okay to not be okay. So first of all, now you have to admit that you have an issue, that there's a problem. Because until you do, you will never work on it. It's just that simple. You got to come to terms with it. And a lot of people don't want to come to terms with that because of expectations that have been put on them, especially trying to be like the next person. That's another one of our issues. We have to stop trying to compete against one another. That can cause a lot of trauma. To think that you're doing your best, that you're studying hard every day, that you're practicing hard every day, and I can't beat Joe. You know what I'm saying? I can't beat whoever you got, who's your competition. You can't beat them, even though you've been running your ass off every day. You still can't beat them. You know how that feels to continue to keep losing? You feel like a loser. You don't know what to do, man. You already hear all the stories about our people anyway and what we had to go through to make it. And now I gotta do that too? That shit ain't ended? Nah, man. Can't be me. I ain't got no problem. I'm good. You keep saying you good, but you not. So that first thing is you got to admit that you have a problem. You have to. Second thing is you got to go get checked out. Get that proper assessment to let them know exactly what's wrong with you. Third, you start going to therapy, you got to be honest. You have got to be honest with that therapist. And let me tell you something right now. People out there, until you admit you got a problem, you go to therapy to fix your problem, you're going to forever have that problem. It's not going to go away. And it's going to be easy for you to walk amongst other people because you're going to look like how I did. Everybody thought I was good. But in fact, I wasn't. And they never knew that because I was never able to express it. That's another thing us as black men have to do, so holding ourselves and each other accountable for our actions. Had I been the person that I am today, it'd have been easy for me to deal with this. But that's why it's easy for me to deal with it now. So, like I said, when you go to your therapy sessions, you have to be honest. The next thing, you got to listen. You have to listen and do the projects that they assign to you. And understand your triggers. Understand your triggers. It's quite simple. For me, whenever I was alone with nothing to do, because I don't mind being alone. I can find 1,000,001 things to do alone, trust me. But whenever I was alone, it started to get bad. And that's when I would have those thoughts that maybe I shouldn't be here anymore. So for one thing, if you have triggers like that, you just start surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded, who is really your tribe. You got to find out who's really in your tribe. You got to surround yourself with like-minded people because they're going to know what's exactly wrong with you at any given time. You don't want to isolate because you have too much of an opportunity to do the wrong thing. You feel me? Um, Another trigger for me is failure. That was a trigger. That's man, because I had never lost anything before. Trust me, I'm telling you, I was good. I literally didn't start losing until I got to Texas State. Not lying to you. I didn't start losing. I was cold. Ask my high school people about me. I was cold. Ask them. But when I got to college, this is another story for another time because I don't want to make y'all cry no more. You know what I'm saying? If y'all cried at all. But yeah, when I got to school, it wasn't how I thought it was going to be. Like it wasn't, and I ended up like eating poorly and getting sick and everything and trying to run through that. But I was good before I got here. But some stuff had happened to me to where I had to struggle big time. But that's gonna be another story for another day. So after finally coming to terms with all that, learning your triggers and everything, you'll be better off. You'll be better equipped to deal with this. So you heard what the vague definition of depression is, and it's true. It is. That's the simplest form that you can notice. You can notice a person's behavior shifts. You can notice a person when they really don't want to be around. Like when I'm talking about when it's some really good stuff going down that everybody been talking about for weeks, and then this motherfucker just be like, I don't want to go. You should know something's wrong right then and there. You gotta step outside of yourself and start identifying things that's wrong with your people. That's what makes us real friends. When we start finding out what makes us tick, and you start getting rid of those things that hinder that person's performance, those triggers, you start eliminating those triggers for that person. You start trying to get them involved more in things, but put them, I'm not saying per se on a pedestal, but put them in a position for success. Start helping them reach outside of themselves and what they believe in, because what they believe in isn't enough to get them out of their rut. And that's why it's so hard for them to press forward. On top of that, stop trying to be somebody that you're not. Seriously, stop trying to be somebody that you're not, because trust me, it is harder to fake than it is to be honest. Because honesty isn't anything. It's gonna hurt you, because the truth, man, the truth hurts, right? But a lie, man, satisfies your ego. So, bruh, you gotta be you. Who you faking for? And that's another thing about us and our people. See, when it comes to support for our people, if I can get there before you, I'm not gonna support you the right way, because I want it. It's not like that in other races, and that it's not like that. They put on for each other, and that's why we continue to stay so far behind the curve, because we want to look better than the next person instead of helping the next person. And that's why we all have issues with trauma, because we always trying to beat somebody. Can you imagine how it must feel to go into a competition with your mindset on beating one person? My mindset is on beating this one person. I've trained for months to beat this one person. I gotta beat him because that's how I'm gonna get first place. But what happens when that person don't win first place and you lose because you get second to the person who beats both of y'all? See, you wasn't focused. Therefore, you gotta focus on yourself. You have nobody to beat but you. You have nobody to impress but you, because nobody really knows you but you. So you gotta hold on to that. Hold on to that. The fact that you know who you are and you ain't gotta impress nobody out there in this world. It's all inside of you. Period. The luxury and benefit of having people in your corner when you're dealing with something like this is extraordinary. But for me, I'm gonna tell you, for me, my true support is here now. My true support. Because I didn't really know what it looked like. Because I was always doing it on my own. I always felt like I could do it on my own. So I didn't know what it felt like to have somebody tell you that you're doing great. I didn't have nobody tell me that keep up the good work because you inspired me. I've never had that in my life. And nobody's ever given it to me because they felt like I didn't need it because I was always giving it to other people. Because I was always walking around with a smile on my face, even though it's really how I feel. But at some time, you have to be the recipient. You know, a person like me, I fought through it though. I fought through it, and I still fight through it. But it does help, and it does, and that's why I tell everyone out there that I appreciate everything that you do for me, and the words of encouragement, they go so far. But you have to understand that me, I am here for you guys because the majority of people who rocking with right now are really people that I talk to. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. And for anybody who's experiencing like that feeling that I was having, like that it's better that you are not here, there's a national crisis hotline for that. And I'm gonna put the phone number in my description of this episode. And that's 911. You hang up and call 911 when you need help. Because we're losing too many of our people. Especially right now. We're losing too many of our people. And it's sad. So, this is what I'm going to leave you out with. And I know I can say this because I know I can do it. I am going to reach out to 5 to 10 people just to catch up and see how they're doing. Just random people. I encourage you to do the same. Because I know there's going to be a number of people. I know at least 10 people are going to watch this. So if 10 people call 10 people and keep it going, you know what I'm saying, we can get over 100 easily of people who have been touched. You see how it works? That's it. All you got to do is say hi. Somebody's waiting for that. There's a lot of people out there who need love. And we have to show it to them. This is our turn. This is the meaning that I'm making out of this pandemic. That I have to be one of the leaders in Black mental health. I really feel like I am. And I'm also going to be a leader in helping people who have been stuck in their ruts, in their ways, and who need guidance. That is me. So that's why I'm not afraid to tell you guys about my issues. Oh, I got more. Trust me, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? By a long shot, I'm not perfect, but I try. That's it. I try. So all I ask of you guys, you're gonna continue to hear these 3 words. I just ask for effort, discipline, and sacrifice. That is it. That's all you need. And for anybody out there who's hearing this right now, for me to overcome my depression, I had to, like I said, come to terms that I was depressed. I had to come to terms that I need that push. But I had to ask for it. Because I wasn't asking for it. I was assuming people that knew that I was down. I was assuming I can't do that. So I got myself up and I got involved in everything. Everything that I said I wanted to do, my goals, I wrote them all out. I wrote all my goals out. Because if you continue to keep a goal inside your head, all you're going to do is push it to the back every time you get a new goal. So if you write your goals out and you see them every day, you will start to work at them. Otherwise, it's just a thought. You got to get it out there on paper. That's what I did. I got all my goals and my thoughts out there on paper. Once I did, I could easily start checking out the boxes, just check out the boxes. I literally work and do something every single minute to hour of the day. And I'm in bed by 9:30 and up at 4 to get ready to go. You see, I occupy myself. Because remember what I said my triggers was? I said my triggers was being alone without nothing to do. And my other trigger is that doing so much and then I fail. Because I was like, I don't fail, right? But I changed that. You're right, I don't fail. I learn. So I embrace the fact that I'm not going to succeed every single time because that is a learning experience. I will pass next time because I've just learned from my mistakes. You feel me? You got to start checking out the box. Trust me, y'all out there dealing with their depression or anything y'all going through, you can holler at me. Trust me. Shoot me a message in the comments or something like that. Shoot me a message into my DM, my Facebook, stuff like that. Y'all want to try to holler at me, you can find me on Instagram at knowledge_1911. You can find me there. Actually, I think it's just knowledge1911. You'll be able to find me because I don't think it's that. I don't think there's nobody else out there with that name. It shouldn't be because that's my name. That's a shout out to my kinfolk. Jay Simon, bro, Jay Spring Bean, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, and to my boy Alex, man, they know what I mean by when I say my name is knowledge. So, man, I was able to overcome because I figured it out, and I got the blueprint, and the blueprint was up here in my mind, but now it's out on paper, and that way I can see it all the time, and that way I can give it back to you guys and do things like I'm doing right now. So I implore you to please, you going through anything, it doesn't matter. You can trust and believe in yourself. You will succeed. And I'm a living example of that. All you got to do is ask me questions. Because I got a lot going on, bro, that I can tell y'all boys I do. But I'm looking at the time. It's at 37 minutes for a vlog. I don't know how far y'all going to get in it, but I guess I'm going to put some timestamps on there for you guys to check out what parts you might want to check out. So I'm about to check out. But I'm going to ask you guys if you like what you've seen. There's going to be more. I got a lot in me, a whole lot, and I'm learning a whole lot more. So I ask you, please hit that like button. Hit that like button for your boy. You know what I'm saying? And share this and subscribe. Thank you for listening to me. And I had that. I'm gonna wear Pac shirts when I want to be revolutionary. When I really want to get a message out there. So I'm probably gonna wear Pac shirts all the time. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you guys take care. Love you.